available for whatever you need.
Ski area in Iowa? That doesn't make any sense. On this episode of Road Tripping with Sports Betting Truth, what might be the boringest stretch of drive on the entire trip. I continue eastward through America's Heartland. The only stations that come in are stations that talk about nothing but farming and agriculture. I return to a state I used to live in for the first time in 3 years. For about 15 months back in 2014 and 2015, and I love it. And then the trip takes us up north. I think it's one of the most underrated cities in the country. Temptation gets the best of me and I make a trek in search of some ice cream. So maybe this is a sign I'm not supposed to get frozen custard today, and boredom in a small town forces me to find different ways to entertain myself. Great faces, great places. This is Road Tripping with Sports Betting Truth. So for today, I have my end point in mind. I know where I want to end the day, but the question is, which way do I go to get there? There's like so many different ways I can go. I do gotta admit, they had free breakfast in there. The breakfast at those hotels, that's like my favorite thing in the world, but I'm passing on it. I don't want to eat too much. You know it. Flying J, North Platte. I know I said this is about new experiences, but this is an old one I want to relive. I'm at the same Flying J as I came to 2 years ago. Alright, time to finally get started on what might be the boringest stretch of drive on the entire trip. It is 8:34. Yep, today's first stop will be Omaha. Just gonna stop there, not staying there. So I'm driving east on I-80. I've done this drive so many times, so this is my third time to drive east on I-80. But yeah, this is the boringest stretch of road probably on this road trip, east on I-80. Like, it's nothing but farmland. The only interesting thing on this stretch is this like arch that you drive under at some point, but apart from that, it's pretty flat and boring.
About a 500,000 homes and businesses are out of power. Laura's still a hurricane as it moves farther inland.
Oh, here comes that arch I was talking about the only interesting thing on this route. Man, I can't find anything good on AM radio around here. It's like the only stations that come in are stations that talk about nothing but farming and agriculture. I mean, I guess I'm in Nebraska, I get it. I guess there's a lot of people who want to listen to that, but it's just so boring. I tried to listen to it and it's, man, I'd rather listen to nothing at all, to be honest with you. Man, that Suburban in front of me just almost hit me, almost merged right into me. I had to hammer my horn and everything. Man, talk about your life flashing before your eyes. I mean, it was literally about to merge right into my car, and who knows what would have happened. Currently in Lincoln, Nebraska. Really not much to see as far as I-80 is concerned. We passed by the university, but it's too far to the right. You can only see it from a distance, so I couldn't get it on camera. So I am here in Omaha, about a few miles west of downtown Omaha, and I'm trying to plot out the rest of my route for today. I know where I'm going. I already said I know where I'm going, so I just need to figure out how to get there. 2 hours, 49 minutes, 189 miles.
72nd Street, then turn left.
So I just crossed the Missouri River into Iowa, the 7th state of this trip, and I wanted to make sure I hit Iowa, so that's why I chose this route today. But I'm not heading east into Iowa, I'm heading north. Got downtown Omaha on the left. Now, I lived in Iowa for about 15 months back in 2014 and 2015, and I loved it. Iowa was a great place. But I lived in the eastern part of the state in Cedar Rapids. But Iowa's a great place. A lot of nice people, very low cost of living. The winters were a bit harsh, but I don't mind it that much. I like snow. I like having seasons. But my time in Iowa, you could have divided it up into two. When I first moved there, I got a second job, so they opened up a Cheddar's there. And I know you might think Cheddar's, you know, it's a chain restaurant, but in Iowa, whenever they get a new restaurant like that, it would be a huge deal. Like, they got a Chick-fil-A when I was there, and you had a line down the street for months. So even though it's a chain restaurant, to people in Cedar Rapids, they might not know that. So it was a big deal. So when that Cheddar's opened, it was packed on a wait for 4 months after it opened. And I originally applied to be a bartender, but I made more money being a cocktail server, so that's what I did. In fact, that Audi I bought in Utah, I was able to buy it with cash with the money I made working at that restaurant. It was great. I loved working there. I made a lot of friends. For me, I've moved around a lot in my life, you know, so I always had to start over with my social life everywhere I move. And so a lot of places I've lived in, I've gotten a second job, not so much because I need the money, but because that's kind of how I like meet people and get to know the people around in the city and everything. But like all good things, it came to an end in December 2014. You know, all the workplace drama and all that, and plus I learned the hard way why you don't shit where you eat. So after December 2014, I was there up until June 2015, and it just wasn't the same. In that second half where I became a total slob, I didn't work out, I ate way too much, but I was completely sedentary. All I did was play video games and watch TV, and I got fat. I got literally fat, not like the fat I've been talking about the past couple days, but I literally got fat, like double chin, belly overhang. That caused me to finally change, you know, my lifestyle and everything, start working out again, start going to the gym. Because when I was done with football, you know, I had that back injury, and I was like, I'm not playing football anymore. What's the point in working out anymore, you know? And it was actually when I was moving from Iowa to Seattle and took a video of me jumping off the high dive in a water park in Idaho that I really got to see just how I had let myself go and how fat I have gotten. So by the time March of 2016 rolled around, I had lost about 60 pounds. I was up at about 220 then. Yeah, 220. I dropped down to 160. You know, my time in Iowa was mainly spent along the I-80 corridor between Des Moines and Cedar Rapids. I never really went up to Sioux City or anything like that, so this is all new territory for me in Iowa. Ski area in Iowa? What? I'm looking around. It's pretty flat. I mean, there's some hills. That's the main difference between Iowa and Nebraska, is Iowa's a bit more hilly, but ski area? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, as much as I wanted to visit Cedar Rapids, it was just a little bit too much out of the way. I'm sure you're wondering, like, where are you going if that's out of the way? Well, that'll all be made clear a little bit more tomorrow. So I had to go to the bathroom pretty bad, so I stopped at this Casey's right here, just south of Sioux City, Iowa.
How are you doing, sir? Good, thank you.
Yeah, you see a lot of these Casey's gas stations in the Iowa area. I used to live right across the street from one in Iowa, and so the thing that Casey's is known for is its pizza, but I've never had it. Because when I lived in Iowa at the time, I didn't know it was so great according to everyone who lives in Iowa. And I never thought that gas station pizza would be any good, but there are people who live in Iowa who will swear by this place when it comes to pizza. So that's why I thought I'd let you know what it's known for. I've never had it though. I'm kind of curious, but at the same time, like, I had pizza yesterday, so. Pretty decent sized downtown for Sioux City. First time here, pretty decent sized downtown, but I still think the city with the biggest downtown in relation to the size of the city, like a small city, big downtown, is Peoria, Illinois. When I was moving to Kentucky for from Seattle, I passed through there, and I was like, geez, that's a big downtown for a city this size. Okay, so we've officially entered South Dakota. Apparently either the river that we crossed over or that water tower is the Welcome to South Dakota sign, but I didn't see one. But I am headed to Sioux Falls, and I'm currently 71 miles away, so about an hour. Yes, I'm heading to Sioux Falls, which I think is one of the most underrated cities in the country. I've only been there twice, but I've had a good time both times I've been there. No Mount Rushmore, that is on the complete opposite side on the state. That's on the western edge of the state. We are on the eastern edge. No, there's been a lot of signs so far. I don't know if you saw that one, but no, I'm not going to go to Wall Drug because it's in the western part of the state and I'm not heading that way. But Wall Drug isn't one of those hyped up like gas station rest pit stops that you see for road trips like Buc-ee's. I've been there before in 2015. It was pretty much like Buc-ee's, but a little bit smaller and more, I guess, frontier-ish, you know, like log cabin-ish. Something you would expect to find in like a mountain. It was a nice stop, you know. It was a cool place to stop, but no, I'm not heading that way. So I'm in downtown Sioux Falls, but this is where I'm going to eat today, but not stop. This isn't my final destination, so I'm going to try to stop somewhere so I can figure out where I'm going to go eat. You know, if I go to a chain, so be it. I don't get the hate for chain restaurants. I hate, you know, when I'm traveling for work and people want to go to like the trendy, foodie, farm to table, organic, locally sourced garbage buzzword trendy restaurants. You know, that drives me nuts sometimes. I mean, there's a time and place for those places. I'm not hating on them, but sometimes you just want something you know what you're going to get, and that's what chains give you. Chains give you consistency. You know that a chain in Sioux Falls, South Dakota is going to be the same as a chain in, I don't know, Pensacola, Florida, right? Sometimes you roll the dice on restaurants that you don't know anything about and they're not worth it. They backfire on you and you're like, man, I wish I had gone to a chain, or at least I know I'd get something, you know, good. If I go to a chain, so be it. Don't hate on me. Coming down to a chain and a non-chain, it's almost 3 o'clock, which means happy hour, which a lot of chains have good happy hour food deals, you know, so you don't spend a lot of money. But there's a non-chain I'm looking at that looks good too. I don't know which one to pick. All right, I'm gonna go to the non-chain, okay? The non-chain it is.
Take the next left on South Phillips Avenue.
School bus, you aren't seeing a lot of those these days, but this is South Dakota, probably the one state out of all 50 in this country that has not really overreacted to COVID.
On the left.
There it is, Tap House 41. All right, let's see if this is any good. Man, these prices are really reasonable compared to California. Like, everything in California would be twice as much as... I keep thinking, is this a happy hour menu? But it's not. These are really reasonable prices. Yeah, I probably could have more, but I'm going to stop myself so I don't feel fat like I did yesterday. I'm trying to figure out the rest of my day. I've driven about 6 hours and 15 minutes. Alright, well, I've made my decision. Now I need to get a hotel. Man, and you thought North Platte had a bad selection of hotels. This one's even worse. Alright, it's only about 55 miles away to the stop. Staying at a Holiday Inn Express in Brookings, South Dakota. Brookings, South Dakota, by the way, it's a college town. It's where South Dakota State University is. And we got football practice. Why aren't these kids dropping dead of COVID like the media says? That was a pretty quick drive. Oh, they have a water slide. Is it even open? The slide's not on, so it can't be open. What do I have a view of? Of gorgeous Brookings, South Dakota. Open sesame. I have a gorgeous view of the hotel across the parking lot. Well, it is 4:51. Now what, right? I don't know what to do. There's really not much to do around here. I can go to that pool downstairs and see if it works, but there's a Culver's down the street, and I already know I'm going to cave and end up going. So the question is, if I know I'm going to cave, I might as well go as soon as possible, right? But I'm trying to make a deal with myself. What if I'm allowed to eat Culver's if I walk there? There's no way I'll burn as many calories walking to that Culver's as I would eating a frozen custard from there, but, you know, it'd at least make me feel a little less guilty about caving. Hey, look, there's my car. So this Culver's is about a mile down the road, but I'm worried that I'm going to walk there and it's going to start raining. I should be fine. I would get a car wash, but I'll hit a bunch of bugs within like 20 minutes after getting it done, and it'll be a waste of money. So only the drive-thru is open at Culver's, not the inside. That's weird. You'd think South Dakota, of all places, it would be open. So maybe this is a sign I'm not supposed to get frozen custard today and won't get more fat than I already am. Perkins really does have the best pie, and DQ looks open drive-thru wise, but I think I'm gonna have to pass. At the very least, walk back to my hotel, and if I really want it, I can get back in my car. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on getting some ice cream or custard tonight. Don't worry, where I'm going tomorrow, there's gonna be plenty of opportunity to get dairy products if you catch my drift. At least they're playing it all, unlike some states. If I was a senior, I'd be so mad if they canceled my senior year of football. Like, a lot of these seniors, they only get 1 year of varsity, you know? They're in JV all before until they're a senior, so how would you like it if you never got your varsity season because some bureaucrat and politician wanted to cancel it? You know, I think I said this in my Las Vegas video last year, but there's nothing wrong with just hanging out in your hotel room and relaxing. You don't always have to be doing stuff to justify taking a trip. Sometimes I just like laying here and watching TV and just relaxing. The seafood doesn't come out until 2:30, so I thought I'd start with the prime rib first. So I'm watching my old Las Vegas videos from last year. I haven't even watched any of them since I uploaded them last year. Like, I edited them, uploaded them, haven't watched them since. So, you know, it's one thing to shoot all these clips that you put in these vlogs, but editing it takes a while. Severe thunderstorms coming into South Dakota at some point overnight. You know, when you live in San Diego, you don't get a lot of thunderstorms. I haven't heard thunder or lightning in San Diego. I don't think I ever did. Ribbit, ribbit. How do wrestlers not get the wind knocked out of them when they land on their backs? It's about 11:08. Sleep till I feel like getting up and then get up and get on the road. I got the window open tonight so when it rains, if it rains, I can see lightning and hear thunder for the first time in forever. So if that happens, I'll wake up. If not, I'm going to bed and I'll see you in the morning.